Welcome to the channel, everybody. If you like rust, classic cars, welding, grinding, you're in the right place. I've made a huge amount of progress lately, and in the previous video you would have seen me do all of the repair work on the driver's side floor. And off camera, it got a little bit too dark to film. I actually finished off the outer sill, so I've got it all plug welded on, and now it's time to go over and grind all that down. So I'm going to grab the camera, show you the plug welds, and we'll try and get that all cleaned up before we move on to the next part of the build. Here is the weapon of choice. This is my trusty angle grinder from Screwfix. It's only a McAllister one. It's not an expensive grinder, but it does the job, and it's also the one that gave me 3 stitches in this finger. So I bring the grinder down, and what I'll try and do is just knock the tops of the weld off, and then I'll finish them with the finger sander. Shiny! So this heat reflective tape is what I use to put over any paintwork that I don't want to get damaged. Now, obviously this isn't pristine paintwork, but I just want to try and protect it as much as possible. So this heat-proof tape from B&Q, I'll stick on there, and that should help out. Now the bodywork, believe it or not, doesn't look too bad in certain areas, considering it's had a year or two of grinding and welding next to it. You can even see in the reflection the original bonnet still hanging up, and the new wings that I've got ready to go on when I get round to it. And I'll just show you some of the plug welds that are down here. There you go, on the outer sill. They've come out great. It is very difficult to keep them consistent when you're welding upside down, but I've had plenty of practice now, so no excuses. And then obviously all of the plug welds along here are going to be ground down. One of my favourite things to do, as you can imagine, is laying on my back and grinding down all of the plug welds. Really pleased with the results, and now I can spray on some primer. Well, the next thing to do on the Classic Mini is to get it up in the air, get underneath it and fix a few tiny holes where the heat shield is mounted underneath. Now, before I do that, I need to come up with a way of making it safe and secure so there's no accidents. Hello, Kev. I see you got your favourite jumper on again. What are you doing in here? Anyway, yeah, it's my favourite jumper, unless Santa gets me a new one. Let me get on with this. I've got loads to do. Well, you really need to if you're going to get to some shows in 2024. I've built some pallet blocks to hold up the Mini when I get underneath it. Now, they should be strong enough, but let's give them a test. Shazam! Not bad, they're pretty strong. Well, they work, and underneath the Mini is looking a little bit cleaner and tidier. I'll bring the camera in now and show you what I'm up against. I've got a few holes to now weld up, so let's check these out. We're under the Classic Mini, and this is where the heat shield goes to protect the bodywork from the exhaust. You can see my marker pen lines here. That was to just give me the position of the stud or thread that comes out to hold the heat shield on. I cut that off, and I've drilled a pilot hole ready because I'm going to do something else than reuse those. They were all corroded, purple rust, no good. This one completely rotted away the floor here, so I need a repair patch here. I've obviously got my cross position guide for a pilot hole for a new thread. This area here, again, it's gone through the floor. I've drilled a pilot hole ready. This area here is great. That's nice. The area under the cross member, got a hole there. And then this one is awful. Now, before you leave any comments, that is my finger. And talking of finger sanders, what I'm doing here is I'm using the finger sander to grind away any remaining rust and leave myself a nice square to create a repair patch. If you follow the journey so far on this Classic Mini, you'll have seen me do this multiple times, creating a small repair patch. And what I'll do is I'll get it as good as I can, and then
I'm actually sticking it down using duct tape. And this allows me to get underneath the car and using the marker pen, draw out the exact shape I need to cut. Peel it off the floor, and there it is. Now using the angle grinder and cutting disc, and cut this out, and once it's ready, I'll put it in position using my small little magnets, and I can get my weld on. Once it's all ground down, it looks like that. Really, really pleased with how it's turned out. These are the two hardest repair patches I've done so far on the Mini, being completely underneath the car.
So if I've timed this correctly, it should be New Year's Day 2024. You're sitting there with a cup of tea or a coffee and a sore head. I hope you've had a fantastic New Year's Eve and a happy New Year to all of you that are watching and all of you that have subscribed, liked and viewed the videos in 2023. And one of my good friends, Sarah, she suggested Pocket Rocket Garage doesn't have to be necessarily just mini content. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, because I've always got projects on the go. I've got a garden, chill out, lean-to pergola project that I'm going to start in 2024. Would that be interesting on the channel? I've got other bits and pieces that I'm always doing. So let me know if that is something that you would be interested in, because you're the viewers and I'd like to see what you think. So I'm going to get started on more content on the Classic Mini for you to watch. So until then, I'll see you on the next one.